We have the opportunity to make a habit of empathy, to recognize ourselves in each other.
Can empathy be perfectly excised from the judiciary?
No. If empathy means that we close our, or if lack of empathy means that you close your eyes to the consequences of the law's decree, that's just silly. We supervise the criminal system. You know that our criminal sentences in this country, by mandate of legislatures largely, although the judiciary bears some responsibility, are 8 times longer than sentences in England and Western Europe for equivalent crimes. 8 times. My state of California, my former state, has close to 200,000 people in prison at a cost of $32,500 a year when they're paying $4,000 a year for high school students. Now, it's in a way apples and oranges because there's full-time care there. But I mean, that just gives you an idea of the dimensions of this. Capital defendants in a single windowless 12 by 8 cell for 20 years waiting for their sentence. You're not supposed to know this when you're a judge. That's the first thing you have to know. And that's the first thing our people should know. Winston Churchill said, your society will be judged by how you treat the least deserving of your citizens. And so, of course, empathy has a role. Now, if that translates into, oh, I feel sorry for this person and not for that person, no, that's not it. But you certainly can't formulate principles without being unaware of where those principles will take you, what their consequences will be. In human terms, law is a human exercise. And if it ceases to be that, it does not deserve the name of law. I think there's a growing awareness of this fact. If you were asked to design a penal system that would win the prize for the worst system, the one you've got would at least be runner-up. And people get aware of it. And I mentioned cost. If cost is a way for us to activate human compassion, I'll take it. We are squandering our resources and spending them in the wrong way. And I think there is a growing awareness of it.
One last empathy question, if I may. Does it ever worry you that empathy, while it's a necessary component of jurisprudence, could swing too far to the other side?
Oh, well, of course. I tried to indicate that if you say, oh, I feel so sad about this, I'm going to change the law. No, the law has to have a stability, a permanent, it has to apply to all persons. But as I tried to indicate, maybe not too well, we have to be aware of the consequences of our legal principles. Just like you have to be aware of the consequences of what you write. The press can sometimes hurt people, sometimes unintentionally, sometimes because you have to. And you should be aware of that as a check on what you're doing. One of the problems with new media is that it's so wonderfully diverse that people tend to watch just what they agree with. And there have been some interesting studies on that. So it sort of just confirms a narrowness, and that's not what the press is for. The press is to open new horizons, although the press has its own obligation to be fair and neutral, and to examine itself for bias.